Hello, worldies, and welcome back to my naughty little channel. Today, I want to talk about something that seems to be very prominent at the moment with the release and the entire press tour for the movie for the Children of Blood and Bones. It seems as if many people are very concerned with representation in the media and this concern that light-skinned and biracial actresses are stealing roles. I actually recently was sent an email by somebody, which I'm not going to put on the screen here because they did they initially gave me permission to use the email, but then they changed their mind, and I just want to have integrity and not share it. But I'm not sharing their name or anything, so I'll still talk about the topic. This was somebody where I don't know if they were a subscriber or if they were just a viewer, because some of the viewpoints they were expressing in the email didn't necessarily line up with the way that I see the world. But we did exchange a few emails back and forth, and one of the they were saying that they could suggest video topics or other things, and they wanted to talk about this topic of ancestry, ethnic ancestry and whatnot, and actresses in Hollywood. And they seemed very concerned, they were breaking down, you could tell that they either just know everybody's background or they put time in before emailing me to researching different actresses, ethnic backgrounds, and then a role that they had played. And it was very interesting to me because while they did talk about Helen of Troy and Lupita Nyong'o, they kind of seemed to focus most of the email on this exotical has this background actually, but they played such and such who had this background historically, which to me, I'm never going to advocate for taking money out of exoticals' pockets or their wallets. I think that's kind of the point of your ambiguity. That's for me to support exotical actresses only playing roles that perfectly match their own ethnic background. That would be me supporting them having less money. And I just thought it was interesting. Everybody has been, I don't want to say everybody, but I just noticed this sentiment that light-skinned actresses are always stealing roles. And it's so funny because I was watching this clip from Maya's World, the girl with the, you know the girl, but she was, she's talking about she's talking about Amanda Stenberg. I think that's her name. I think I used to always think it was Steinberg, but I think it's Stenberg. And she was talking about how she used to be, she previously played the role in The Hate U Give, that movie or that film adaptation of a book as well. That's the whole thing. People feeling as if Amandla as an actress, the way that she actually looks, doesn't match accurately the way that the characters have been described in the books. But she was saying, this is Mayowa, basically giving this information because I didn't know this previously, but saying that Amandla had been selected for The Hate U Give, hand-selected by the author. And she also gave the point that Simone Biles has previously said that she would want Zendaya to play her. So I'm just confused, what roles are light-skinned and biracial actresses stealing if people want them to play it? If Simone Biles thinks she looks like Zendaya, who am I to stop her? Why would I say, no, Zendaya, don't go get that bag? I don't know. I'm not going to say, no, exotic actresses shouldn't have their money. They shouldn't have their bag because it's not accurate. That doesn't sound like something that makes sense for me to advocate for, especially because I believe that exoticals typically, I think a lot better than the unambiguous community when it comes to buying power. I think that we are more likely to actually buy and purchase from each other. I see a lot of exoticals going to other exotical hairstylists, or if they're getting their nails done, or if they're going to a fitness class and the instructor or the owner of the the studio is another fellow exotical. So I don't know. I don't have any issue with money being in other exoticals' pockets. And I just wonder how how can an actress ever steal a role? Like, how are you stealing a role? Like, how? Are you just bogarting the whole set and saying, forget your casting call, I'm going to play this role today? Like, don't they have security? If it's Hollywood, I would think that they have some sort of security or some way to prevent somebody. Like, how do you steal a role? Like, people can steal things. People can, like, steal something from the set before they leave after, production is ended. But I don't know. It takes a long time to film a movie for somebody to have stolen a role. Like, how? How do you do that? You just, I don't understand. Like, is she basically trying to say that, like, Hollywood executives, the same ones who, contribute to, nasty, despicable things behind the scenes, they somehow all of a sudden aren't powerful enough to keep some light-skinned girl from playing whatever role she feels like playing? Like, how? How do you steal a role? That's not a thing. And I think it's so interesting because in talking about this newest film adaptation of a book, she is clowning Amandla for feeling as though she looks like the character, which I believe this is after she's already been cast. I think it's a really weird thing in general to go after an actress for paying her rent or her mortgage, paying her bills. Like, they need to work too. And I think it's sad that a lot of people, especially, unambiguous women, that they feel so angry and so frustrated about this, and that they're going after the wrong people, or they're misdirecting their anger. Like, the actress can't do anything to help you with your big feelings about this. They didn't cause them. Any actress who has ever played a role where the general public felt like she wasn't the best fit, or they felt like she wasn't the perfect skin tone fit, or they felt like she wasn't the perfect, ethnic background fit. There were multiple people, there were a lot of moving parts. And when it comes to actors and actresses, they don't have nearly as much power in the process as I think people would like to think. A lot of conversations happen, between teams, and people always have the option to do something or to not do something. But I don't understand, like, why would I choose to not have money? And I think so many people are just not being realistic. Like, for example, when it came to Halle Bailey playing Ariel in The Little Mermaid, which, while Ariel was not originally light-skinned, she was originally lighter, and then they darkened the character. And I don't really remember seeing a ton of backlash, specifically from the same community that seems to have an issue when we lighten a character. And I don't understand why you would think that people are just going to give up money for people who don't even like them. Like me in general, I think many women, if you're, if you're lighter skinned or you're biracial, you're multiracial in some way, you probably have had these experiences with the average unambiguous dark-skinned monoracial woman where you're like, like, you kind of have already had those experiences that when you get placed into that situation, I don't know, why would I cape for you? Like, I'm not a mammy. I'm not going to, like, oh, I'm going to give up my money and not pay my bills because it hurts your feelings. Like, your feelings don't pay my bills. I don't like when people just place the blame in the wrong place. And it's a very silly thing because, and I've expressed this before, the people, like the actor of the movie, even when it comes to, like, for example, Simone Biles, if she has passed up all of the other actresses in Hollywood that I would say look a lot more like her, like even just feature-wise, not specifically skin tone-wise, but if she has passed all of them up and she's decided that she wants Zendaya to play her, I would guess that if Zendaya then turned that role down, which I know Zendaya is known to turn down a role if she feels like it should go to a darker actress, nobody's going to stop, like maybe Zoe Kravitz from stepping in and playing it. Or, I'm trying to think about like another young actress, like their name. I can't think of a lot of young actresses' names, like even Alicia Bowe, who like she's not dark skinned, but or I wouldn't necessarily call her dark skinned, maybe. Oh no, maybe she is, but I know that she's definitely multiracial. And she doesn't look like Simone Biles, but why would you think that you have the power to you just don't want biracial actresses to work? You just don't want light-skinned women to work? It's a really weird position to take on something like this, because when you get to the point of an actress being cast, like for example, Zendaya being cast as Simone Biles, there's already been so many steps that have been happening in the works behind the scenes. And for example, Simone Biles, from what I know, there is no biopic or autobiography movie or something in the works currently. Not that I know of. I'm sure eventually in the future there will be, because she is such an amazing athlete of our time. But if she is just like her image of who she wants to play her is obviously somebody tall, leggy, light skin. And if Zendaya turns it down, I'm sure that Simone Biles will not stop until she gets what she wants. Like, people put a lot of thought into the optics of a movie, into the set, into the costume design, into even the hair choices. I saw the creator Mayowa complaining about so many things in the images that have been released for the Children of Blood and Bone, which I didn't read it, but I did see through like trying to look up some things for this video, the way that the main character is described as having like oak skin, and in the wording it is specifically spoken about as being something that stands out from darker hues. So even with that, like, I don't know, I saw the picture of the character. I didn't think that it looked that different from Amandla. Even that, like, she was trying to say like, oh, you've never seen yellow oak. I don't know if I would say Amandla has a yellow undertone, but regardless, like, I don't understand why you think that your YouTube video would be stopping contracts that have already been signed. And I think that it's almost to the point where maybe with more Exoticals creating content and advocating our opinions, I wonder if darker skinned women are ever going to look into the mirror and say that Hollywood only really has to do these things because they know that you guys would not come and watch yourselves. Because they care about money. They don't really care about your feelings. They don't really care about colorism. They don't really care about texturism. They care about capitalism. They care about dollars in their pockets. And they are not that attached, in my opinion, to the actor or the actress that they cast. They're not attached to the way that the audience or the people who have been loving a certain book series, like how they feel about the casting. They're concerned with the money that they're going to earn from the movie. They want the movie to do numbers. And they have decades long evidence and analytics that they can review, just the same way that I, as a YouTuber, can go through my analytics. They can go through their analytics and see, when do we make movies? Or like, when we make movies, when do we make money? Who are we casting? You know, what happened the last time we did a film adaptation? I'm sure in Hollywood they probably have tried to cast, things more accurately to books or to, preserve people's feelings. But no, the motive would never be to promote people's feelings. The motive would would always be to make money. And if unambiguous dark-skinned Black women have decided that they don't want to see themselves in the media, then the media is not going to force you to enjoy your own image. They're not going to force you to, love yourself. They're not going to force you to be aware of even how you look, because so many women do have like hair texture and skin tone dysmorphia and, feature dysmorphia, all of these different things, from playing so much with filters and things that make them think that that's how they actually look. But I will say, it is to the point where, bringing it back to the person who sent me an email regarding exoticals not matching the ethnic backgrounds of the roles they play. I think the difference would, like, between the casting of lighter skinned actresses and roles people feel should go to darker skinned actresses, like the difference between that and exoticals not matching ethnically is that if they match aesthetically, and if after decades of Hollywood's analytics or certain production companies' analytics on who will actually pay to watch a movie depending on how they shoot it and how they create it and how they cast it, they have likely seen that as exoticals we will show up for a fellow exotical who looks like us, or who we can see ourselves in, that maybe is a slightly different phenotype from us, but we still want to support her. So that's why they're able to keep us working. They know that they will make money because people who actually look like the actress, will go and support her work and go pay to watch the movie and everything. And so will the dark-skinned, unambiguous monoracial community. They will also go watch the movie thinking that they look just like the actress too, or maybe just watching it to hate watch it. But regardless, they're going to do what makes sense money-wise. And I think it's unfortunate that they happen to not see this pattern, and that they use ambiguous women and exoticals as a scapegoat for their frustration. If you guys, because I just think that the Black community has too much like buying power, too many dollars to not be the deciding factor on this. Like I mean, I would be open to seeing some sort of study or statistic that shows that they're doing this in order to make money from the white community, which, even if that's the case, like when it comes to casting an exotical, we are just more relatable to a wider group of people. We have all of the people across cultures, across the globe, who can see themselves in our phenotypes and think we look like one of them. And then you have monoracial people on both sides of the aisle, Black and white, who we are closer than a fully like opposite race person would be from them. And that's just the relatability. That's just the benefits that come with it. And this is how society was constructed. And we didn't construct it this way. And we don't have to feel guilt over benefiting from it either. But what do you guys think? Do you feel as though an actor or an actress needs to perfectly match the ethnic background of the character in a role they're playing? Do you feel like light-skinned or biracial actresses are stealing roles in Hollywood? Let me know it down in the comments below. And until next time, worldies, eyes on the prize.